Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Dave Does It. Today we got to get all the trucks out of the garage, get the service truck moved. Mrs. C left Big Barbara, which is her 2019 Ford Expedition, home today because we got to change the headlight bulbs. So we did LED conversion bulbs in the truck 3 years ago. Well, they finally bit the dust. So we did some research on the Expedition forums, and everybody recommended these. Ala lighting, 9005 replacement headlight bulb. So if you're driving down the street, can't see anything, and are getting blinded by somebody, you can thank this company. At least one of them. But we're gonna get everything moved around, get the Expedition in the garage, and then I guess this will be a how-to video on how to change the headlight bulbs. And they suck, if I remember correctly. So let's get to it. All right, guys, here it is. Mrs. C's 2019 Ford Expedition that she refers to as Big Barbara. It's a pretty neat little SUV. We like it. It has a 3-inch ready lift, spacer lift, 285s on 20-inch Ford F-150 RTR wheels, and of course, Raptor skid plate. It's a pretty neat little truck. It's good for daily duties. But we need to get these headlight bulbs changed so she can start driving it. We noticed the other night when she was coming home, we only had fog lights, so I don't know how long they've been out and how long she's been driving it like that, but today we're gonna fix it. So I believe everything's pretty accessible. I'm gonna go get a flashlight so I can show you guys a little better, but you can kind of see it. This is a flap here. So we might have to turn the wheel so we can get a little better access and then jam her hand all up in there. But if you look at the line from where that flap is, right? So here's the bumper for reference. The headlight housing's way up there. So we're gonna be on a pretty goofy angle reaching up in here to get to the back side of that projector. So I'm gonna assess the situation. I'm gonna get these bulbs opened up, get some tools, and then we're gonna see what it takes. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward. Okay, guys, here's a look at the new bulbs. It's an aluminum housing LED. They have a built-in cooling fan. So hopefully they work all right. These are the same bulbs that are currently in the truck. The only thing we might have to do is clock them, because when they're locked in, they want them to sit like this, you know, so you have a goofy light pattern if they're twisted or slightly off. So that's the only thing we might have to screw around with, is play with this lock ring. But they give you a little Allen wrench to be able to adjust everything. So I got my 1/4-inch ratchet, my 5.5mm socket. So we're gonna get in here and see what we can come up with. All right, guys, I hope I got you set up okay. I just kind of stuffed the camera in the wheel well so we can get in here. But we're gonna remove the screw with our 1/4-inch ratchet with the 5.5mm socket. And this should give us access to the back of the headlight. I say should because I don't really remember how to do this. It's been a few years. Guess this flap folds over and down. I might have to take one more out. Pull the liner out a little bit. Let's see here. I don't know if I did this last time. Probably not. Okay, now will this flap fold? There we go. I dropped the light. Well, that's actually not too terrible. Let me rip the camera out of here and I'll give you guys a show and peek. Alright, guys, we got the screws removed out of the fender liner. And I'll show you here what we're looking at. It's really not that difficult. I guess remembering now, the fog light bulbs were probably the ones that were the pain in the butt to change. So, as you can see in there, it's the back of the headlight housing. That lower one's the high beam. That top flap is the low beam. That's the one that we're changing. So this shouldn't be too terrible at all. We'll get that cover off and see what things look like. Hold on, let me get my hand in here. Oh, it's on there pretty good. All right, there we go. We got the cap off, and you can see the back side of our LED bulb that's currently in there. So we're gonna fish that out and replace it with the new one. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys briefly everything that we fished out of the housing. So here's the little, I guess, module that's attached to the LED light, and then the plug on the factory connector. And that was just all stuffed in the housing after the bulb was in there, out of the way. There's plenty of room for it, and it worked pretty well. So we're gonna get that unplugged and then fish this bulb out. All right, guys, we got the old bulbs out. I ended up breaking the back of it off. I had a hard time twisting it by hand, so I had to go get a little pair of pliers to twist it out. It came right out once I got a hold of it. But as you can see, they're pretty cooked. So I'm going to compare the orientation of the tabs right now to the new bulbs to make sure we don't have to adjust them and we could just slam them in there. But it shouldn't be too bad. You can just see they got pretty hot. Everything I read online said the service life is, 2, 3, 4 years, with the average being 2 to 3 years, and we got 3 years out of them, so I'm pretty happy with that. So looking at the new bulb, it looks like that we may have lucked out. If you can see here, the orientation of the lock tabs is right where they need to be, so we don't have to screw with the lock ring at all. Just stab the bulb in and on we go. Alright, it's probably going to be very difficult to see this. Installation is just going to be reverse of removing it, right? So we just stick the new bulb in the housing, give her a twist, and plug it in. And I don't know what I can show you guys, but I'm going to hold the camera up in here somehow. There we go. That bulb's twisted in. So we're just gonna take the electrical connector and try not to tangle everything all up here. So this is a lot harder with one hand than it looks. All right, what am I doing here? Snap her in. Now we're just gonna take all this excess, and it fits nicely inside the housing here. There's plenty of room if I can get it in there. There we go. So all that's tucked away, and all we got left is to put the rubber cover back on. And that simply just snaps in. Push it on. There we go. Now we can move some of this stuff out of the way. Fold our flap back over. Get our fender liner back in there. Make sure you put it back in this little groove here. You can see there's a lip. And we'll just take our screws and put our screws back in. So that one started. Get this one started. It's kind of funny, I'm left-handed, so that was a bit awkward. So That's all snugged up. Got the last one here. Oh, we dropped the light. Now the other side is going to be the exact same, just over there. So it's pretty straightforward. You guys would be able to do these at home. Like I said, you just 1/4 inch ratchet, 5.5 millimeter socket. I don't know if you could read that on there, but half hour to an hour LED headlight upgrade, well worth it. All right, we just got the driver's side all finished up. We're gonna get the lights off here in the garage and kind of give you a little demo on how bright these babies are. I know you can't see anything and it's a blackout, but check this out. Ready? Bam! That's absolutely crazy. Off, on. Has a pretty clean cutoff line, as you can see, right level with my toolbox, which is about 32 inches. But these puppies are bright. And it's not a bad job, right? $80, less than an hour. Complete night and day difference, literally. It's daytime in the shop now. So before we go today, we're going to top off some juice here for Mrs. C. And then she'll be all ready to go. I don't know what else I'm going to do today. I'll probably have to drive Big Dirty. Or I could take this, I guess. Mrs. C took the Danger Ranger to work today, so she could leave Barbara. All full of the juice. So not bad at all. And thank you guys for joining today. I hope that this LED headlight installation video helps some of you. You know, show you that it's not that difficult. You can do it at home, in your driveway, in your garage, at least on this vehicle, right? Pretty straightforward. It's money well spent. And as always, remember, kindness is free. It doesn't cost you anything to be a decent person, and try to inspire somebody. Today I hope I inspired you to be a better you and to get out there and give something a try. Thank you guys for joining in, and if you made it this far, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications so you can stay up to date with our newest content. It just helps the algorithm and helps me grow.